New Radio Sports Network and 1041 WRLU. I'm Tim Coles, joined for another edition of the show with Green Bay Gamblers head coach Pat Mikesch. We were joking about hairball coming after the Gamblers win on this weekend. And first of all, I'm sure it was a little bit easier to handle that concert knowing that you had just picked up a big victory a little bit before that.
Yeah, always makes it a little bit more enjoyable on a Saturday night. But concert was interesting. It was a lot of songs from back in my college and early pro years, and it was enjoyable. I mean, it was entertaining, I should say. It was the crowd was into it, and the performers were active, I should say.
Favorite song that they performed, and then I'll let go of the whole hairball thing. I know we talked a lot about it last week as well.
I wouldn't even. I can't. Oh, it's hard to say now. Like, I mean, it was a lot of songs I was somewhat familiar with. I'm not a music person at all. And so it was, but they were ones that I remembered hearing in the past. So my wife enjoyed it. It brought back her happier days.
But speaking of happiness, 6-2, the final there on Saturday after losing to Madison 4-1 in Madison the day before. And what was maybe the biggest difference between those two games for you, other than the score, of course?
I thought our play without the puck had a lot more detail to it. We made Madison play through more layers of us, and like the night before, we had played a solid first half of the game, and then just things we've talked about here on the air is making things too easy on your opponent, and especially on the road. Some of our turnovers gave them easy transition, and that's a team that takes advantage of it. And so, I thought we were playing a good road game and just got out of sorts. But the guys responded well on Saturday, and especially in front of our home crowd, they went out and kind of dictated things early. And Rastislav Elias had a really nice game in net for us as well.
I know he's had some games that have gone a little bit rougher than others. How important is it for the young goaltender to have a night like that?
It's good. I mean, like, Rasto's been, working through being a young goalie in this league. He's an extremely talented goalie, and for him to have that success, because there's been some nights he's played pretty well and we haven't been great in front of him. So it was great for him to have a team play well in front of him, and then him stand back there and do his job as well.
And does it make him feel a little bit more at ease knowing that, right away, you scored first in that one, and then you scored 3 goals in 10 minutes to start off that second period? Does that allow everybody else to kind of play a little bit looser?
Well, you're hoping that you just keep doing the things that are working well. I think when your team is in good structure, it's very predictable hockey, and your teammates know what's going to happen next. And so, that's what we're striving for, is to be that team it's predictable on what's going to happen next when we have the puck and when we don't have the puck. And we haven't been consistent enough with that. And so that Saturday night was a great example of what it looks like when, your transition is smooth, because everybody knows, okay, this is where we want the puck going. And so I think Rasto had a couple stops early that kind of settled him into the game. And then, for the most part, his stops were a lot of B and C chances by Madison, which is, what we're aiming to make our goalies face and not have to face those A opportunities over and over.
One of the things that happened last week that we did not get a chance to talk to, so we'll cover right now. You guys make a trade. You acquired Carter Batchelder from Waterloo. In exchange, you sent Cameron Van Sickle to the Blackhawks. He had 2 goals and 2 assists in 16 games for the Gamblers. And tell us a little bit about the trade and how it went down.
I think it was a situation where both players were looking for a fresh start, a new opportunity. Cam had been with us, and trying to work through this league as a younger player, and Carter was doing the same thing as a rookie over in Waterloo. And we were familiar with Carter from his high school days at Eden Prairie. He was a very successful player there, and kind of felt that he fit, our game, and kind of filled a hole on where we could be improved as a group. And so it was, I think, a good trade for both players and for both teams.
And how has Batchelder kind of, gotten used to? How has he kind of fit into the flow of things as he joined the team last week?
Well, it's always nice to see him have success right away. I think that helps you fit into a room. Ultimately, somebody is not in the lineup because, Carter got here. So there's always, players that realize, okay, it's a fresh face and we're going to see what he's all about. But the nice thing is him and Johnny Middlestad were teammates in high school. So he's got a natural connection that way. And then, to see Carter have that success, like I said, and get a goal and an assist on Saturday is, crucial to, feeling comfortable in that room right away and understanding what we're all about.
And that's got to be nice too. I'm popular today.
Yeah.
And how important is that to kind of have almost that working relationship right on the way in?
Yeah, I mean, it's every player. I mean, they're young, and for 99% of them, it's the first time they've ever gone through something like this, where somebody said, "Hey, we're going to move you." So they all grow up in their youth organizations, and they're rather comfortable. So it's not an easy thing for players to go through it at this age. And I thought Carter handled it well. He was excited to get to Green Bay. He's got family in the Green Bay area here, so it was a natural fit, we felt. And but for Carter to get comfortable, it was to have success.
Well, it's nice to know that you'll have a nice kind of ingrown fan base when he plays some more of the home games, as you'll have a few here this month.
Exactly. Yeah. Just trying to grow the crowd here in the Resch by bringing in a new player was not my plan. I didn't find out he had Green Bay relatives until after we had made the trade.
And the other side of it that's also kind of interesting as well, I don't know what kind of insight you can bring in, is that obviously, for the most part, the Gamblers players, for people that don't know, it's not like you have them living at a motel or something like that. They have partner families that they live with. You guys obviously treat those partner families well. What is that kind of relationship like when you have to tell that partner family, "Hey, that guy that you've been developing a relationship over the last few weeks, yeah, we just traded him."
That's the toughest call. It's you talk with the player, and then immediately after you're talking with the Billet family, and they do build tight connections with these kids. And but they all kind of understand it. We talk when we have the first sit down with all the Billets before the players even arrive, and go through what the rules are, expectations, and curfews, and all those things get put in place. They all know that even to start the season, we're going to have more players than we can keep, and that there will be changes throughout the season. So, but they honestly do build a tight connection with these kids, and it's never easy when we have to send one out.
And you'll actually close, speaking of Carter playing in front of some of his family members, the Resch, you actually close off the season with 3 games at the Resch Center. We'll have all 3 on 104.1 WRLU, but you actually have one more road game before we get there, December 16th at Madison. That's a team that we are obviously familiar with, as you played that home and home with them this past weekend, and we've talked about what they bring to the table. But you'll see Muskegon the Saturday and Sunday game when you guys get back to the Resch Center. And how has Muskegon looked since you last played them?
We haven't seen Muskegon all season, so this will be the first time we see a divisional rival, which will be interesting. And Coach Hamilton's team has some good size over there. They've got some veterans that are having great years. Jacob Gweben is a defenseman. I think he's 1 point in front of Damon Carfagna now for the top scoring defenseman in the league. So it's a group that we haven't seen, but we're familiar with what a lot of their moving parts are. And so actually that's a Friday-Saturday series. We play the Thursday night game down in Madison, and then come home for Friday, Saturday against Muskegon before our guys go on a little bit break here for Christmas.
I didn't look at my calendar. It's over that shoulder. I got cocky there. And obviously Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you got to kind of condense things as well. What does your practice schedule look like?
Yeah, I mean, we tried to go close to normal yesterday for a Monday. Our Tuesday will be a little bit shorter. Our Wednesday will be quite a bit shorter. Just knowing the 3 games in 3 days is a test of the body. Right now we're just trying to stay focused on knowing that the players are going to have their break and they're going to have their bags packed and ready to go home, because they're excited to go home. But, we've got a job to take care of this week. So trying to keep things a little bit lighter and just keep their heads locked in for the 3-on-3. We've got a Christmas dinner here tonight for the players. So, and they'll do their gag gifts for each other and whatnot. So it's a good time of the year, to have things a little bit shorter, a little quicker, and easier to get through.
We're all just getting phone calls today. We're the most
It is. The
popular
phones
people.
are busy in the office.
And we got to go back to that gag gift in just a little bit here. But do you find it hard? I mean, obviously you've done this for a long time. What is it like to kind of, I mean, you're almost like a college professor, high school teacher, if you will, because, you obviously got a lot of things still to go here before they go on break. Is it hard for you to kind of keep that focus for your players?
I mean, they can get distracted, but the teams we're playing are going to be facing the exact same issues with the exact same age kids. So there's nothing like the Muskegon coaches called yesterday and they're like, can you help us set up some COVID testing? Our guys who have to fly to Canada have to have a test. So there's a lot of moving parts, and last year we didn't even get a Christmas break. So for the guys to have their week to go home and see family and just relax a little bit, it's important. And so we just want to make the most out of this week with their preparation for a Madison team we're familiar with, but then that Muskegon group that will be a different opponent than we've seen.
Okay, we'll end it with the gag gifts. This is a tradition with your teams?
Yeah, a lot of hockey teams do it. The guys pull numbers out of a hat and then they'll present the gag gifts here tonight. And it could be something funny that's happened during the year that they've learned about this player, and so they have fun with it. And then they usually have a real gift of some kind of gift card or something for the guys, and then we'll have a nice dinner together. So we'll get through it.
All right. So there's the fake gift, and you go, oh man, and then the real gift comes in.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Best gag gift that you've seen throughout your years there. Can you remember a good gag gift that maybe you were given? Do the players give you a gift?
No, I stay out of it. I was involved in the gag gifts for a while, but I think sometimes I might have made it too personal and hurt guys' feelings. So I stay completely out of it. I enjoy it. Probably one of the better ones I've seen is we've had some players that have had receding hairlines for younger men, and I've seen some hair products provided for that guy. So there's been some other ones that are quite funny, but that's one that I was like, oh, that kind of hits home when you're talking about a receding hairline on a 19-year-old.
Well, depending on the product, Ryan Sandberg and Brian Urlacher say thank you for shopping Restore. Well, once again, Gamblers hockey on the radio this weekend. Thursday, they're on the road. They're playing Madison. And then those two games against Muskegon on Friday and Saturday, December 17th and 18th at the Resch Center. You'll be able to hear Tobin Meyer on the call for those games on 104.1 WRLU and NewRadioSportsNetwork.com. Coach, enjoy your Christmas celebration with your team and good luck this weekend.
All right. Sounds good, Tim. Look forward to talking again soon.
And for the New Radio Sports Network, I'm Tim Coles.